Can you help us with an explanation of Isaiah chapter 7? We know there was no New Testament when it was written. So, how did the Hebrews understand this chapter before the New Testament? Can you put it in its historic setting?
When you put Isaiah 7 in its historical context, it's actually talking about what we call the Syro-Ephraimite war, when Rezin and Pekah came to attack Ahaz, who was king of Judah. Let's read from verses 1 downwards, because context is very important. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, son of Jotham, son of Uriah, king of Judah, that Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah, king of Remaliah, king of Israel, marched on Jerusalem to wage war against it, and he could not wage war against it. So we have here Ahaz, who is king of Judah, and Rezin and Pekah came to wage war against Judah. So Ahaz is king of Judah, and Rezin and Pekah came to wage war against Judah. Verses 2. And it was told to the house of David, saying, Aram has allied itself with Ephraim, and his heart and the heart of his people trembled, as the trees of the forest tremble because of the wind. So Ahaz the king of Judah is very worried about this siege. So the Lord sends the prophet Isaiah to Ahaz the king to tell him not to worry about these two kings that have come with the intentions to conquer Judah. Verses 3. And the Lord said to Isaiah, Now go out towards Ahaz, you, and shear Yashuv, your son, to the edge of the conduit of the upper pool, to the road of the washer's field. And you shall say to him, Feel secure and calm yourself. Do not fear, and let your heart not be faint because of these two smoking stars of firebrands, because of the raging anger of Rezin and Aram and the son of Remaliah. Since Aram planned harm to you, Ephraim and the son of Remaliah, saying, Let us go up against Judah and provoke it, and annex it to us, and let us crown a king in its midst, one who is good for us. So saith the Lord God, Neither shall it succeed, nor shall it come to pass. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. And in another 65 years Ephraim shall be broken, no longer to be a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is the son of Remaliah. If you do not believe, it is because you cannot believe. So Isaiah just told King Ahaz, the Lord said not to worry about these kings that have come to try and conquer you. They will not succeed. But Ahaz was still worried and afraid. So to strengthen the heart of King Ahaz, God says to him through Isaiah. And the Lord continued to speak to Ahaz, saying, Ask for yourself a sign from the Lord, your God. Ask it either in the depths or in the height above. And Ahaz said, I will not ask, and I will not test the Lord. Ahaz says he's not going to test God and ask for a sign. So the Lord chose to give Ahaz a sign either way. Verse 13. And he said, Listen now, O house of David. Is it little for you to weary men, that you weary my God as well? Therefore the Lord of his own shall give you a sign. Behold, the young woman is with child, and she shall bear a son, and she shall call his name Immanuel. Meaning, a woman is going to give birth to a child, and that child is going to be a son. And this woman is going to name the child Immanuel. The name means God is with us, meaning that God is with Ahaz and Judah. 16. For when the lad does not yet know to reject bad and choose good, The land whose 2 kings you dread shall be abandoned. So before this child, before this son that I speak of, before he grows to know good and bad, these 2 kings that have come to destroy you will be done with. The sign was to Ahaz. The sign was not a virgin birth. A sign is something that is visible. Look at all the signs in the Tanak, and they are all visible, something that you can see. So in summary, Ahaz the king was worried about the 2 kings that came to conquer him. Isaiah comes and tells him not to worry. Ahaz is still worried, and Isaiah says, ask for a sign. The king refuses, but God gives the sign anyway. What was the sign? It says the Alma, the young woman, will give birth, and verses 15 to 16 states, by the time this child reaches the age of maturity, the 2 warring kings, that is Pekah and Rezin, will have been removed. This sign was to strengthen the heart of King Ahaz and comfort him. Now, the question is, what possible comfort and assurance will Ahaz, who was surrounded by 2 overwhelming military enemies, have found in the birth of a child 7 centuries later? That will not be comforting. That is no sign to Ahaz, because he will be dead and gone. Both he and his people would have been long dead and buried. Such a sign will make no sense. The sign was for Ahaz in his time, and this prophecy was fulfilled in the time of Ahaz. So it is clear from the chapter that Isaiah's declaration was a prophecy of the unsuccessful siege of Jerusalem by the 2 hostile enemies of the kingdoms of Israel and Syria. Not a virgin birth more than 7 centuries later.
Today is talking about who?
Well, it's a word given to Isaiah to give to Ahaz to strengthen his heart. That's what the chapter is about.
Yeah, Samuel. Please, let's continue this later after I have digested this.
Okay, no problem.
Let's discuss the Hebrew word for virgin tomorrow.
Okay, anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.